That shouldn't have been possible. My name is Evan Mercer, Level 2 Technician. Low clearance, low power, exactly the kind of person no one notices when something goes wrong. And that night, something went very, very wrong. The first file, the server window, didn't open to my dashboard. Instead, a plain black folder appeared. Project Latchkeyed, never heard of it. But my badge beeped green, access granted. I froze. They don't grant access at K212, they revoke it permanently. Against every bit of instinct telling me to walk away, I opened the folder. Inside were 2 grainy surveillance clips and a document labeled Protocol 7, Behavioral Failures. The first video autoplayed, a small room. Concrete walls, a single table bolted into the floor, a man sat across from someone whose entire body was blurred, like the footage itself refused to reveal what they looked like. The distortion wasn't normal static either, it moved almost intentionally. Like it was breathing, the man interviewing them leaned forward and asked a simple question. "Do you remember your name?" The blurred figure tilted its head. Then the speakers crackled. A voice, layered, broken, too many tones at once, whispered, "Do you remember yours?" The feed cut. I sat back, pulse pounding through my ribs. Whatever that thing was, it wasn't human. The distortion wasn't to hide its identity. It was because the camera couldn't process it. Before I could close the window, the second video opened on its own. The second file, this one, was a hallway cam. A guard walked past, checking doors. Nothing strange, until the lights flickered. Once, twice. Then everything except the center of the frame went perfectly still, like the hallway froze in time. Only the guard moved, or rather, tried to. He clawed at his throat, as if something unseen had its hands around his neck. His feet lifted off the ground. His spine bent backward at an impossible angle, and then he vanished. Not, poof, gone, not edited out. He simply blinked out of existence. Mid-frame dot, the hallway resumed motion like nothing had happened. I pushed away from the desk so fast, my chair rolled into the wall. My breath was coming in short, stabbing gasps. That's when the automatic lights in my office switched off. All at once, the monitor stayed on, glowing in the dark like an exposed wound. A new file appeared, not a video, not a document, a live feed. Cam 4C, East Lobby. Shouldn't have had access to any live feeds, and I definitely shouldn't have seen what was on this one. A lone figure stood in the East Lab, facing the camera, not moving, not blinking. Just staring into the lens like it knew I was watching. The lights flickered in the feed, and for half a second, half a blink, the figure's face replaced my own reflection in the dark monitor glass. I jerked away, my badge buzzed red, security lockdown, but I hadn't triggered anything. The PA system clicked on above my head. Employee Mercer. Remain where you are. A retrieval team is en route. Retrieval team, not security. Retrieval teams didn't bring paperwork. They brought body bags. The footsteps, a distant corridor door slammed. Boots 6. 7 pairs. Coming fast, I backed toward the server rack, scanning for some place to hide. My hands were shaking so badly, I kept dropping my badge. The boots got louder, closer, then something strange happened. All the lights in the hallway, outside my office, went out, one by one, moving toward me like someone was walking and flipping the breakers manually. Except the footsteps didn't match. The marching boots had stopped. The lights were going out anyway. One remaining light, then darkness. My door handle turned slowly, silently. The monitor flickered, for the briefest moment. I saw a message flash across the screen. They aren't here for you. They are running from me. My blood turned to ice water. Then the door swung open. The silhouettes filled the doorway. 7 figures in matte black tactical gear. Visors down, weapons drawn. But they weren't aiming at me. They aimed into the dark hallway behind them. Close the door. Someone barked. It won't matter, another voice muttered, barely audible beneath his breathing mask. It followed us here. Followed. My voice trembled. What's going on? The leader didn't answer me. He pressed the device against the doorframe, a metallic disc with a blinking blue ring. A field shimmered across the doorway. A barrier. Something I'd only ever seen in training slides labeled temporal displacement, COUNTRMA SURA, XUR XURA, XURA XURA XURA, 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 XURA XUR, XURA, XURA, giving rise to many new dinosaur. Men make him so sex. A barrier something I'd only say, semirasecond XUA, SUSHL sekiar, KSUN, 7-second emepids. Technology the department hadn't perfected yet. And yet here it was. Humming in my doorway, the lights flickered again. The wall of energy rippled like something pressed against it. From the other side, one of the masked soldiers stepped back. Sir, we need to move him. Whatever Phase 7 iteration that thing is, it's not Phase 7. The leader's voice cracked for the first time. Read the signature. That's Latchkey Prime, meaning the original. The first experiment. The thing those blurred videos were trying and failing to capture. The pressure against the barrier grew. The metal frame groaned. We have 60 seconds, the leader said. Grab Mercer, and his voice stopped. No, it glitched. Like audio skipping, he turned his head sharply. The others did too. Their visors flickered with static. Then each soldier turned toward me in perfect sync, dot-like puppets. I stumbled backward between the server racks. Hey, what's wrong with you guys? All 7 spoke at once. Layered, monotone. No air behind their voices, the observer has been seen. Their visors went completely black. The barrier at the doorway shattered like glass under pressure, and a low, vibrating hum rolled through the room, a sound that didn't come from speakers or throats or anything living. It felt like the air itself was grinding. Then the soldiers moved. Not normally. Not like humans, they jerked, teleporting inches forward at a time, flickering like bad frames in a corrupted video. One blink, they were 10 feet away. Another blink 5. The hum intensified. Crawling under my skin, I bolted between the rows of servers. Heart hammering against my ribs so violently it felt like it would burst. Their boots didn't clatter behind me. Their footsteps sounded wrong, like someone dragging static across metal. I reached the emergency staircase and slammed through the door. Darkness swallowed me whole. The stairwell lights were out, except for one flickering bulb several flights down. I took the stairs too, 3 at a time. Behind me, the hum became footsteps, slow, deliberate, calm. As if whatever had taken over those soldiers knew I couldn't escape. Halfway down, the building trembled. A low alarm began wailing, not the fire alarm, not the security breach tone. This one I'd never heard before. System-wide temporal breach flashed across the stairwell screen. No. That wasn't possible. Temporal breaches were theoretical too. Just scare language they used to justify budgets. Or so I thought. The hum grew louder. I pushed through the door to Sublevel 3 research labs, containment wings, biometric locks. Everything was open. Every door. Every lab. Every containment chamber. My breath caught as I passed one of the glass rooms. Inside, sitting alone on a metal bed, was the blurred figure from the first video. Not blurred in reality, blurred in the air itself. Like light bent wrong around it, it slowly turned toward the glass. And despite having no face, no features, no eyes, I felt it looking at me. My knees nearly gave out. It raised a hand, the shape warping like a smear in a photograph, and placed it against the glass. A whisper vibrated through the metal walls. Do you remember your name yet? I ran. The core lab at the end of the hall was a reinforced door, marked Latchkey. Primary access, authorized personnel, ONL. My badge would never open it. But the door was already ajar. Guard cold sterile light spilled out. Inside was a circular chamber with a windowed control booth above. The computers were active, screens flooding with warnings I didn't recognize. In the center of the room stood a tall glass cylinder, cracked, leaking a faint haze. Something had escaped. I edged closer. Drawn despite every instinct, screaming not to, the control booth's intercom crackled to life. Mercer. I froze. The voice it sounded like me. Don't be afraid. I looked up. In the control booth, a silhouette stood behind the glass. My silhouette, same height, same posture, same hair. It leaned toward the mic. We've been trying to reach you for a long time. The hum behind me intensified. Footsteps. Flickering. Movement. The 7 soldiers appeared in the doorway of the lab, jerking, skipping frames, positions shifting between blinks like time itself couldn't track them. The air warped. My double in the control booth spoke again. Voice deepening. This is where you learn the truth. The cracked cylinder behind me began to vibrate. Light pulsed inside it like a heartbeat, and the hum became a single, deafening tone. The tone shook the entire chamber. My teeth buzzed. My vision wavered at the edges like heat distortion. Even the glass under my hands felt like it was vibrating at a frequency meant to tear atoms apart. The cracked containment cylinder pulsed again. A heartbeat made of light. My voice, the other me, echoed from the control booth. You were never supposed to see this, Evan. I spun toward the booth. The silhouette leaned closer, its features impossibly dark. Like the light refused to touch its face. The soldiers stood motionless behind me, flickering like corrupted holograms. I swallowed hard. What? What is this place really? What is Latchkey? The figure in the booth tilted its head. My head, as though